out of all the trainings we've made on this channel, this one here is by far the most exciting one and is going to be what at least I think up until now, the most value-packed training. We've got a lot to get to. This originally actually was a VSL that I ran for one of our ads campaigns. I believe we're still running it now. And I decided that there was just too much value in this, like pure value, to not just put out here on the channel. So I reshot this. I made some changes and I'm reshooting it specifically for you guys on YouTube because there's a lot we're going to get to. I'll zoom out here so you can see, like, there's a lot of shit here. And as a warning, because I know some of you have a attention span of a like golden retriever puppy. If that is you, yes, I am speaking to you with your low attention span, or maybe that's not you, but a lot of people do have that. So if you want to get to the value and just skip ahead, just go to the point on the screen where you see all this. And this is where we go to like the most intense value. Before then, I'm going to share some things about my story and just some things I've been through. And I'll talk a little bit about our clients. I'm going to take like 2-3 minutes on that. And then I'll give you guys some insights on the market, on the remote sales space. But in terms of value, purely for closers, if you're like, hey, I just want to get the sauce from this video straight fire, just go to whatever mark you see on the screen, this section, and me going through this stuff. That's where all the purest value is going to be. But hey, if you have time to sit and actually listen and actually lock in and get the entire package, then every piece of this video is helpful. But we'll start with this. So this video here is it's the no bullshit protocol from going from 5K per month to 15K per month in remote sales, as the title says, without wasting weeks and weeks and weeks at a time on offers that are absolute shit and getting cooked by objections. That's the goal of this training. I'm going to show you how to do that, how to triple your commissions. Before we get into the training, there's something that I need to agree on with you, which is right here. And this training will only work if we can agree on this, that you don't want to rely on luck in your sales journey, that you don't want to rely on luck. You don't care about luck, but instead what you care about is efficiency and predictable success, as we have here, okay? And what this means is that a lot of remote closers get into the space and the primary thing for them is, I'm just going to hop between offer to offer to offer, and the thing that's going to make me money is getting on the right offer, which is the marketing, which is the language, which is the sales speak of most of the industry right now in terms of sales coaches, remote sales coaches. They're all like, either pay us for an offer. I know there's a bunch of people paying to get on the V-Shred offer right now. I decided I'm going to start naming names more on this channel. So there we go. A lot of people are paying to get on V-Shred. I'm not going to yet name the company that allows people to pay to get on V-Shred. I'll name them later. I'm not there yet. But people are paying to get on a V-Shred offer. They're like, we'll place you on V-Shred, and then you will pay the money back once you close X percentage. And 90% of people who pay to get on V-Shred get canned. They get fired because they're not good enough. And that's what we call trying to short the game of luck, where you're trying to make the luck in your favor by like cheating the game. But a lot of people rely on luck, which is I get an offer and magically, because I got on a good offer and I know how to talk to people, yay, I'm going to make money in sales and I'm set to go for life. And that's all I needed was just to get on a good offer. But if you actually want to rely on an efficient and predictable success pathway, which means, and I'll explain it here, the failure protocol down here you can see versus success protocol, I'll explain what that is. If you want to rely on an efficient and predictable success pathway, which I will give you here, then yes, this video is going to be for you and there's going to be a massive amount of value. But if that isn't for you, and if you want to rely and focus more on luck, and you're like, just the right offer will come across my desk, because I know how to talk to people and I was told I can get on a good offer and I'll make money and it's all about the offer, bro. This is not for you. This video is not gonna help you, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you how to get past just looking for good offers and wasting time on shit offers, and how to actually make a lot of money as quickly as possible without offer hunting, okay? So if that's you, and if you care about efficiency, then let's do this. Right here, what is this? What is this image? You know who this kid is? Charlie from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. What is he holding right now? He's holding a golden ticket. He is holding a golden ticket. Sales, remote sales, is uniquely interesting because it is a golden ticket. That is a fact. Remote sales is a golden ticket. It's a golden ticket for you to be able to change your life. There has never been, at least that I can think of, tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, fight me on it if you think I'm wrong. There has never been an industry where the ability to access freedom generating cash, I'm not talking about like 2-3K a month, but 10K, 15K, 25K per month, where the ability to make that kind of money is literally a Zoom call away. I'm not kidding. It's a Zoom call away in remote sales. And this is, of course, the marketing everyone tells you. With this new industry, you can make 10K per month, right? And they're like, within a month, our closers make 10K per month. I eventually will make a video probably showing you some of these people and pulling up their websites and just calling them out. Again, still not there yet. I want to, before getting aggressive and being a complete asshole, I want to build our channel a bit more before people start attacking us. But yeah, so a lot of people in the industry promise this, right? Like you know the names of these people. They promise, hey, get into our program and our closers are making this much money. Okay, and they say the way they do it is really easy. Within 30 days, he was making this much. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it doesn't work that way. It's not that easy in remote sales. So remote sales is a golden ticket, and it absolutely is a path to freedom. 100% it is. But there are certain steps that you must take first before you can actually cash in the golden ticket and make fucking bank, which is like, in my opinion, you know, the best closers are making like 25K, are guys who are doing the best. Why can't I draw? I need a tablet. I'm on my laptop. They're making 25K plus per month, right? Those are what the top closers do. Now, I know you want to make this kind of money, but it takes work to get to that point, and everyone just doesn't just get there overnight. Now, the problem for most people is they follow something called the failure protocol. This is what I followed. The failure protocol is where you rely on opportunity, number one, opportunity times luck, and then that ends in abject and complete failure for most people. Opportunity is where you're going to be stuck at 2 to 4K per month in comms. You alternate between certain closing offers, then you go down to a setting roll, back to closing roll, back to setting roll. That's opportunity by luck, which ends in failure. And this was me in that cycle. This was me in, you can see the screen, the date, September 13, 2023, mid 2023. I had $112 in my business account. And this was the business that I was running where I was a dating coach. And I had fallen out with my business partner, and I got into sales because I saw sales as an amazing opportunity. I saw remote sales as an opportunity. I was like, hey, I was a dating coach and I've done high ticket sales, not really, but I like closed a couple deals for my company, for my own business. I know how to talk to people. I can make money with remote sales. Yay. It wasn't the case, but I got absolutely cooked, which is how I ended up in this point now where I teach people how to not get cooked, because I got cooked for a long time. And this was my thing for about 4 months. It was about, I'd say, a solid 4 months of me. That's a shitty M. Let's try that again. It was about 4 months of me just absolutely getting stuck and not making any money. Right, where I was on a crap offer, but it was because I didn't recognize the success protocol, which I'm going to show you next. And this is a bad place to be in. Every month was uncertain. Every month was, hey, how can I pay rent? How can I provide for my family, for the people around me, people that matter most in my life? Fast forward 4 months of that shit to where I shifted. I went on a 4-month journey of shifting my perspective, shifting my mindset, and investing time in the things I'm going to give you here, down here, okay? We're going to get to it. And then I invested in what I call the success protocol. Invested in doesn't mean only money. Of course, I did invest in training, but I mean, I invested in this protocol and building this for myself, which is skill set times opportunity equals freedom. So you see, opportunity didn't go away. The opportunity didn't go away, but the opportunity merely shifted to follow. Let me get a little bit more room here. I really can't draw today. This is terrible. But this opportunity shifted over here to follow skill set. Right? So I was no longer limited by luck. That was the thing that was removed. Luck, again, like I mentioned at the top of this, got removed to where luck was replaced by skill set, and skill set went to the front. So instead, the first thing I focused on was skill set. Let me get fucking good. Let me get really good at sales, like damn good at sales, better than everyone else that I know in the remote sales space. And I did this. I was in a sales training program. I invested in a training program that was all about objection handling. And it taught you like, hey, here's how to handle objections. And that was good. There was more that I needed, way more than that, which I found out later after getting better and applying those things. But it was skill set. I took my skill set seriously, and I'm going to teach you guys how to do that here. I'm going to give you the secrets. Times opportunity. Opportunity then was like, hey, how do I make the most out of my skill set? So now I'm in a situation where, hey, I have I'm doing really well. I'm making more money. My comms have increased. My close percentage is higher. But how do I find better opportunities within the skill set that I have now? That led to me having freedom, 15K per month in comms. And I'll tell you about the life I was able to build. I'll go quick. February, 18K plus in commissions. March, 14K plus in commissions. You see closing 15K PIFs, $7,500 PIFs, like crazy stuff. And I was on a dating offer, which is generally, not all people agree, but I think a dating offer is one of the tougher things to sell. It's very emotional. There's a lot of doubt. A lot of people are angry. I was talking to a lot of sophisticated buyers, like these 50, 60-year-old dudes who've been divorced and were pissed off that they had to be on a call with me. So I was making that kind of money there. I also offer stacked. I added another offer, was coaching on a AI product development, was closing for an AI product development offer. That also helped me make even more money, right? Stacking the cash. There's me flying first class. I bought bought these first class tickets actually recently. Okay, that was a nice photo from recent, but I was able to stack cash and invest in myself, buy first class tickets, go out for cool dinners with my girl. And there's a really cool win I'm going to show you guys in a second. There's me out with friends, just like renting cool cars, driving the Mercedes around Budapest, expensive ass dinners, stuff that I was not able to do, by the way, when I was here. I was not. I was like literally hand to mouth. Could barely afford to like buy fucking Christmas presents at that time. Seriously, like really, Christmas was even tough, right? But then absolutely changed my life around. This is, I said, like a super cool like VIP party in Barcelona. And then I was able to buy the cake and catering for my sister's wedding and gave her a 4-figure wedding gift. How freaking cool is that to give back to her? There's her and her man. Super happy for her. And that was amazing to be able to give back to her from money I had earned to be able to give to her, right? That's what it was ultimately about. And this is really what happens when you prioritize skill set, right? Skill set can get you places. And I'm going to share with you a couple of our people here who did this, and a really cool person, some of you might know, who's actually a client of mine. I don't talk about him a lot on the channel because I don't tend to brag, but today I'm going to brag a little bit. But Nero is one of my clients, actually, or one of our sales clients. And I'm going to explain to you something. Before I do, I want to give you an insight. So the market, remote sales market, this is an interesting thing. The market is always going to weed out winners and losers. And a lot of people don't understand this in remote sales. They think that everyone gets a piece of the pie because, again, it's marketed as a business opportunity. It's marketed as a biz op. It's like, hey, get into remote sales. And there we go. You made some money. You got to get into remote sales. We'll get you on an offer. We have tons of offers coming through our platform and we'll make you money. What you don't know is that those are mostly shit offers. You don't know that. And then you also don't know that the best offers are going to go to the best performers. It doesn't work the other way around. It's not like the decent people get a good offer and then you become good while on a shit offer. You don't become like, the best offers don't hire decent people and then you get on the best offer and then you become good. It doesn't work that way. The best people get the best offers because they vet hard. I know I've hired for really good offers. They vet hard. When I hire, I vet freaking hard and I hire for the top offers. I'm partnered with people that are hiring for top offers. There's other people in the remote sales space like Devontae Masson, who's running Deal Fuel, and his people, the people he's connected with, they hire on the top offers, but they hire good people, right? We've gotten our people to collaborate and be in that program, and a lot of our people have gotten hired because we bring them the best people. But no one will tell you this in the remote sales space. They don't want to because they want your fucking money. They want you to go into their little sales program where they're going to promise you a job. I'm telling you right now, they're lying to you. They promise you this because it's great for marketing and people want to hear this in ads. Holy crap, an easy solution, an opportunity. Opportunity times luck. That's the game you're playing. And I know many of you have been in these situations where you've gone through these programs. Almost every single one of these people. Is there anyone who hasn't been? Maybe Kyrill. I think Kyrill, I don't know if Kyrill was on a program before, but all of our people were in programs. All of them were in programs, most of them at least, where they were like promised, hey, we'll get you an offer. And they got on something, but they weren't making money. And then they had to come to us and then we made them more money because of our model of success protocols, which I'll explain to you. But watch this little model here. This is real cool. So 10% of the top offers, let's imagine that the remote sales space, you have all these offers. You have fucking fitness, you have ecomm coaching, right? You have, what are the fucking other offers? You have biz ops, like get into trading or like learn trading. You have dating coaching offers. Again, like I already said, fitness biz op, how to make money online as a fitness coach or build your fitness coaching business. And you have B2B, right? B2B stuff like marketing agencies, ads agencies, organic scaling agencies like YouTube coaching, things like that, real estate offers. Okay, we have a bunch of offers, right? What happens is the top 10% of those good offers go to the best closers. So you have let's pretend this bar that I just drew here, which is, let's say this is like 10 and then half of this would be another 10. So the top 20%, right? The top 20% would be in here. This is like 20%. And then down here would be the bottom like 80%. Okay, this would be the math we're working with. Okay, you and most people in the remote sales space operate under here. There's a couple people who get on like mid offers. They get lucky. You do get lucky. So there's people, I'm not gonna bullshit you. There's people who get lucky and get on mid offers. You're like a kind of not a great closer because if you like, dude, I'm not gonna rant at you here. I probably will. I'm gonna try not to rant. A lot of you think that you are better than you are. And then you get into our program after you're like, okay, fuck, maybe I need to get better. Like I have people like this all the time. They're like, dude, I'm really good at discovery. Or they're like, I know my way around objections. I know how to pitch. And then you get in our program and you get smacked and you're like, fuck, okay, there's actually a lot more shit I need to learn. It takes, your ego will not want to hear this because everyone thinks they're good at one or two things in sales. I did too. I was the same way. I thought I could run a great discovery because I knew how to have a good conversation. What I know now in discovery is substantially miles further than where I was at when I first came into the sales space, and I was shit now that I think about it. But I thought I was good. So most of you, and I'm saying this because I want you to make money. I'm not saying this to be an asshole. I'm saying this actually because I want you to make money. Most of you are stuck here, which is like 70% of you are on shit offers, hopping around from shit offers, and you're decent to bad. Like you're bad or decent at sales. Not all of you are bad at sales. There's some of you who are decent closers, right? There's decent closers. But you're operating at a sub 5K a month mark, or maybe you're stuck in between these 6 to 10K a month hellhole, right? Where you're a decent closer, you're okay, you know how to hold your own, you've been in like some program, whatever. You've been in, I'm making it like Closer Cartel. You've been in like some of these little programs. Oh, fuck, I'm naming names. Oh my God. You've been in some of these little names, some of these little programs that have cute little role plays. It's like 200 guys in a group, all circle jerking, and like you've been in this, okay? And I'm sure some of you are getting angry now probably because you've invested in it and you're getting mad at me because you think I'm talking shit, which I am, but I'm doing this because I, again, have seen this and I am correct. And then these people come to me and we train them. So what happens is you're stuck here. But then the top 10% of offers, the offers that I get offered, that I get invited to, the offers that our people get invited to, like fucking Sati, who's making 25K a month, like Jabari, who's making 10K plus a month now. Should get a case study with him, actually. We're going to shoot one. Colin, right? Like Charlie. Charlie coaches with us now, too. Amon, Joe. Freaking Joe, who's our closer. I literally hired him to be our closer. Valeria, who's a killer. She's winning. And there's Roan, another guy. Michael Kwok. Who else do we have who's not up here right now? Because they're still stacking their comms. I want them to make even more so it can look better on YouTube when I make the case study. Henry Rauscher. Stavros just got landed on an offer, right? Like these guys, they get better offers. Right? Not always the top 10%. I'll be honest with you. Not the top 10% because there's not so many offers that are top 10%. It's because it's fucking 10%, but at least they're going to get to like very good mid offers. And on mid offers, you can make 10K plus. You can if you're very good or if you offer stack. So me, as an example, I was on a mid offer. I never got a very good offer. I never did. Now I have offers that are very, very good coming through my pipeline, and people on Twitter hit me up to have me close for them all the time. But I run protocols training, and I'm like my mission is coaching and training. It's way more fun for me than closing, actually. Although I wink, I am getting back on an offer because I missed the game of closing, but I'm not a full-time closer right now. But I was on a mid offer and I stacked 2 mid offers, right? And I stacked 2 mid offers. One was kind of shit, but I stacked two offers, and then that put me at 15K plus, right? But a lot of you, what's happening is you don't even have the skill set required to get on a mid offer or a top offer because they won't hire you. So you're wondering, when will the opportunity come? And then what happens is you get lucky. Maybe you'll get lucky and you'll get here, right? But then you're not performing well, and then what happens is you bounce right back down to here, again, where you're on a shit offer. Okay, what happens if you actually do this the right way? These are our people. This is our success wall. We have more of these, by the way. If you follow me on Instagram, you see me posting screenshots from a bunch of people who I don't share here, because though this thing could be filled up with way more names, we probably could get to like 15 proper names out of the people we've trained in the last 8 months, people who are already like winning. Some people are on the way. But these are our names. These are some of our top people. Amon started 3K. Now he's a 12K a month sales manager for the second best school community. They're like the second ranked school community. He's their sales manager. 12K a month. Yay. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. He started at 3K a month. Charlie, I mentioned him a lot on the channel because he's a friend of mine now and one of our top people. He's at 19K plus, had 19K months, and he's coaching our clients now. He runs our discovery training. One of the best talents I've ever seen, and I've trained him personally. Went from 6K to 19K. Jabari, absolute killer. I think Jabari should be at 10K, so I could update this with the 10K, but I think he's pacing for 10K in February. 3K a month SDR. He was an SDR when he came to me, wasn't even a closer. Focused on, again, skill set first, not trying to get lucky, right? Skill set first. And then what happened? Now he's top closer on his offer. And they let the other guy go because Jabari was so good. Colin started below 6K a month. He was in that kind of hell space where he's at 5, 6-ish K. And then now he doubled his revenue. He doubles income, doubles commissions, 12K plus, and he's sales manager. My girl Valeria, my sister, she's amazing. 9 to 5er came to us. 7K plus pace. We haven't put her on the channel yet because I want her to be hitting 10, 15K months. That's our standard for when you get on the channel, featured. So, but she's top closer on a new offer. We just placed her on something through my network, and incredible. She's performing very well. She's the top closer. Got the first couple sales for them. Sati, you already know Sati. You've seen this. If you know my stuff, you've seen this video here. Started at 2K per month. Came from car sales, 2K per month, offer hell. Now he's at 25K plus per month. He just hit me a message in January. He closed at he ended at 25K per month, and he's the top closer on a top 3 wellness coaching offer in the market. Craziness, crazy shit. Radically changed his life in under a year. And it took him about, I'd say, when did we start? I think he came in with me in April, so give or take 8 months, like give or take 8 months, and changed his life completely. And he was making 10K per month, by the way, by September, I believe, but now it's 25K plus. Kyrill started at 0. Now he's 12K per month plus. He's a sales rep for the top school community. He works on Amon's offer actually. Got that through our network too, through Amon, through our people, through Sati and Amon, who are our friends, and they know we're all a brotherhood. So he got that there. Joe, he's an agency owner actually, started 2K a month, crazy low close percentage, like 10%, something like that. Finished our program, ran through all of our protocols, mastered discovery, mastered objections, one of the top guys I've ever coached. He's now doing 15K per month with his agency. That's recurring revenue, by the way, like consistently. He has like something he's not charging like 10K crazy. So he's closing a lot of deals, and he's in the industry, he's in the music industry. So there's a massive amount of distrust, but he's one of the best objection handling pros I've ever seen. And he closes our offer. So if you ever book a demo call with us, which I'm not going to invite you to do here, by the way, the call to action in this video is not a demo call. But you're going to talk to Joe, and if you have objections, he's going to handle your objections, which I probably shouldn't have said, because now those of you who have objections, you're going to be scared to talk to Joe because you're scared he's going to handle your objections. But hey, if you're scared to book a demo call, then we're probably not for you anyways. And then Nero, right? And we'll get to the training now. Nero, y'all should know this guy. You should see his channel, Nero Knowledge. Started 8K per month, 30% close rate on his YouTube channel, and he was doing all right. We met in the same mastermind. We had the same business coach, and now he's 150K per month. And I trained him in his sales process first. He got really good, hit like 40K per month. I didn't put that in here. Hit 40K per month because of the training we did in terms of skill. Bumped up to 50% close rate, 45, 50%, something like that. Then was like, now I'm scaling even more. His channel blew up. Y'all, if you've seen Nero, some of you know him probably, he's blown up. And then I ended up training the sales team and placing his top closer with him. So, hey, fun stuff. We take shit real seriously, very seriously. That's how aggressively we take the game. Here's skill set, the 3 levers of skill set, which is the success protocol. Now is where the training starts to get heated. So, this, if you can follow this model that I'm going to give you, this is going to get you to 15K per month rapidly, which means under 1 year, okay? I'm telling you that's the timeline it's going to take you to get from 15K, from 0 or 3 or 5, wherever you are now, to 15K plus. This should be the timeline. Should be. For most of you. Some people it takes a little longer. Some people do it way faster. Most people, by the way, do it way faster. That's why I said the keyword here is sub 1 year. All right. Buying psychology is number 1. That's the first thing, buying psychology. Triggers, frames, and pathways. The first thing we need to understand is how to, and most people don't understand this in remote sales. This is why you don't make a lot of money and why most sales pros stay broke. It's because they do not understand how to trigger people to buy, okay? They don't understand how to get people triggered where they have to make a buying decision and where they feel like there's no other option but for me to purchase. One of the ways that we do this is through urgency. It's called an urgency trigger. There are certain questions in the scripting that we use that can trigger urgency, yes, and every script pretty much has these questions. I'm sure you've heard of this. Why now? I don't know who you've trained with. Maybe you've heard Cole Gordon, Jeremy Myna, whoever you've heard with, they all ask this question, why now, right? That's a common question in sales. But the question is, how do you actually ask this question or other questions in a way that triggers urgency and causes them to act? This is what we call urgency triggers. And it's not just about the one question you ask. Because if you're relying, stick with me, guys, I'm going to go real dense. So this is some high IQ shit, okay? It's not simple stuff. It's high IQ. And I'm giving you stuff I actually train our people on, okay? This is what's going to make you money. So when people come on calls, there's essentially a pathway that you can take them down from A to B to C to Z that builds urgency in their own minds where they're like, this is more and more important for me to solve and for me to fix. The situation that I'm in, I need to fix the situation. Because if I don't fix the situation, I'm actually losing more if I don't invest than if I actually would hold my money back, not invest the 5K, not invest the 10K, and just make a decision later, right? And that's what we call an urgency trigger. So in remote sales, what makes things so difficult is that it's hard because a lot of sales pros rely on good conversational skills and good conversational like techniques and stuff, but they don't actually understand the triggers that are causing someone to buy, so they don't use those triggers or use those strategies to their best ability, right? And that's a big problem in remote sales. And when I hire sales reps, I look for sales reps that actually know how to do this very well. So an urgency trigger is really important. An urgency trigger basically means that you frame questions in such a way where you psychologically prime the buyer to feel like this is more important for me to act on now versus acting on later. So I'll give you an example. Let's use something like ecomm. Growing ecomm business is helping them get from 3 to 5K to actually 15 to 20K, okay, in profit. That's a good one. Kind of B2C, you're not really working with a big business. Maybe they're doing like 10K a month, but it's not profitable. I mean, they're very low profit margins. They want to do more, build the business, get it to like 60K so they can make like 10, 15K, okay? The way I would ask a question, like let's say a good question like how long has this been going on for? You would ask the question, how long has this been going on, to create urgency? This is a question that's very popular in a lot of scripting. We teach this question as well in our protocols. It's obvious. How long? You're trying to get them to say it's been this amount of time, right? What you can do is you could say this is the shit version, which most closers will do. Like, and how long has this problem been going on for? Okay. When you ask how long has this problem been going on for, you're going to be limited to the time in which the problem has actually been happening, which is not terrible, but it's not great. So because it's not great, it's shitty. We can do better. Saying how long has this problem been going on for is going to be limited only to the time with which the problem has been happening. Meaning, let's say that the dude has been stuck at 3K for like 3 months. And he's like, 3 months. He's probably not been stuck at 3K for like a year. Probably not. Maybe. But he's not been there for 2 years. So I don't want that time gap, right? That time gap is not gonna be the best time gap possible, and this is one of the urgency triggers, a time gap, right? Can we get the biggest timeline possible for how long it's been since John, let's pretend that's the prospect, has been in this situation? So what's a bigger time gap? Instead of saying how long have you had this problem, a better time gap would be how long have you actually wanted to have complete freedom in terms of like online money and just having a life where you're bringing in 10, 15K for yourself, for the family and all that. Why do I want to ask that question? Because that's going to be a bigger time gap. Instead of me saying how long has the immediate problem we're trying to solve been existing, we're going to attach a bigger timeline to that problem by definition, because we're saying how long have you not been at XYZ result? We call that the Holy Grail. How long have you not been at your Holy Grail, right? And the time with which he has not been at the Holy Grail is the amount of time that we're going to be able to sell on. So instead of saying how long has this problem been going on, 3 months, 6 months even, oh, okay, 6 months. It sounds okay, but it's kind of weak. Instead, how long have you wanted to just have freedom, dude? Like, how long have you wanted to really, I guess, make ecom something that you could use as a vehicle to have more for your family and more for your life? How long has that been a thing for you? That answer is going to be, dude, 2-3 years, ever since university, since I got my first 9 to 5, I just realized, hey, this wasn't for me. There we go, right? Urgency triggers. That's an example of an urgency trigger. The second one would be problem, pain, and desire framing. So a lot of people don't do this correctly. A lot of closers don't. The way you frame problems, the way you frame pain, the way you frame desire is very important. All of you know how to ask the basic question, right? Tell me about how that's felt. Or like, how long has this been, well, how long, we already did that, it's an urgency trigger, but like, tell me about the problem. Like, what's been keeping you stuck there? Or like, how's that felt? Or let's say you don't fix this, what does that look like? Or desire, you get it. Like, what does the future look like? What are we aiming for? But a lot of people don't know how to aim this and frame it the right way, where we have the prospect take full accountability and fully embody the desire they want to have, or the fear of lacking this position in their lives. Most closers, most sales pros, most sales reps don't know how to properly do this. I didn't know how, right? So I had to learn how, and I'm going to give you what I learned here. So the pain framing, I won't go through all these just for time. It's going to take a lot, but we train on this like crazy in protocols. The way that I want to frame pain is where I pull out as much of a problem as I possibly can. Hear me out, within the context of how that would relate to the prospect. Okay? This is advanced. We don't go over beginner shit in our program. I'm literally telling you how we train here. We go advanced. That's why we tell some sales pros, hey, go train with, oh, I want to say the names. I'll stick on Closer Cartel for now. Go train with Closer Cartel if you want the beginner stuff. Like, our stuff is very advanced. So, God, I want to name all the names. But like, here's the pain. right? So as an example, let's say we're asking, going back to the ecomm guy, we're like, what's been holding you back? What's been holding you back from hitting 10, 15K? You could just say, and tell me about what's been going on in the business, what's been holding you back. Great, not a bad start, sure. And they say, well, we've really been having problems with ads. One of our ads accounts got shut down. We're having issues with targeting, and I just know there's more we could do in terms of optimizations and building a better store, just a whole bunch of things with like our workflows. Excuse me, I'm using other terms from one of the offers I'm on. I would consult on, not workflows. They wouldn't say that in ecom. From our products side and in our copy and just and everything, just positioning. Okay, there we go. That's a good problem, right? We're happy now. Most closers will be happy with this. What do they say? Tell me more. Cool. Not terrible. How can we make it better through pain framing? What I want to look at is how that's affected their ability to grow. Because I want to attach an immediate consequence or an immediate problem, this absence of results. I want that to be strongly felt on the call. But I have limited time, right? So we can't do this over 20, 30 minutes. Just pain, pain, pain. We have to go to future desire, future pace. We have to a bunch of things to look at. So how do I do this as efficiently as possible? One thing I'll do is in pain, I'll frame the question within the context of the business or in their lives, right? So what that would sound like would be, okay, so it seems like a lot isn't working then in terms of ads, in terms of creatives. How has that been slowing your business growth down? Like, how does that make it so hard for you guys to grow? What's been challenging there? So you see how instead of me saying, tell me more, or what's been going on, or like, oh, wow, that's been difficult, or I'm sure that's something we need to fix, I go to a level deeper and I say, how has that been actively affecting things right now in the business or for yourself? Because then we can attach an actual tangible frustration to the current problem and we create a pain frame. Whereas a lot of closers don't do this. And then I'll do it again, by the way. They answer that. Let's say he says like, yeah, it's just been making it hard to scale because sometimes our numbers spike. We'll have a month of 4 or 5K profit, but then everything drops and the ad spend goes up and profits go down. My response, yeah, that can't be great. And it's a trend we've seen actually with a lot of our people who come to us for training or, for us to build their systems. They come to us because there's a lot of these up and down cycles, but there's actually a way you can do it that's very consistent. We've just seen certain trends in the market in terms of ecom where you can find consistency, but it's hard. But if you have the right accountability, and the right systems, you can make it happen. I guess for you guys, what are the big areas in the business that you think are bottlenecks right now? What are some of those areas where you keep hitting your head against the wall and you're like, we just can't figure this out? Because that affects how we help you. There we go. Problem level 3. We go deeper. We build more of a vision. We build more of a picture around specific problems. And then we have responsibility pathways. Responsibility is also huge. Before I leave this, what we call current state, before I leave that current state, that initial discovery process, I want the prospect to take as much fucking responsibility as possible over their situation. I want them to do that. So I'm going to ask them a question like, do you feel like there's changes you need to make? Before we continue even, do you feel like you're going to have to do things even a little bit differently? Or how do you feel? Because that's really the most important thing here. I want to get the prospect owning and admitting and fully taking responsibility before I continue the rest of my sales call. A lot of sales pros don't do this. I wasn't doing it. I wouldn't do that. I would have a nice conversation. I'd be like, cool, I think we can help. Let's pitch. Fuck that. There's a deeper way you can do this. Okay. I hope that my language here is not disturbing you, but I'm fired up because I want you to get better. I want you to make money. Okay. Stick with me. Let's keep training. Let's get better. We have leadership structures is next. Leadership structures. So there's a very important principle in sales where the weight and the tone you use is going to affect what the prospect does and how the prospect responds. Okay. A lot of times what I find sales pros doing is they're having these very surface level conversations where they're asking questions that are okay. They're not bad questions, right? But the prospect, especially challenging prospects, I'll explain something pretty interesting in a second here that'll help you give you some perspective on this, where the most challenging prospects don't respect you. And maybe you've been seeing this on your sales calls. So I want you to imagine this, okay? Let me see if I can draw this out. I'm going to make a little graph here. Okay, this graph is, let's say, 100%. 10. God, it's terrible drawing on a MacBook. That is a terrible percent. But cool. There we go. 100%. Okay, we'll break this into bars. All right, let's go with this. Okay, and instead of drawing, actually, is there a way I can type here? Not exactly. I think I can comment. But, we'll put some little sticky notes here. Okay, so this right here, or this is a comment. We'll call this 20%. And you'll understand why I'm doing that in a second. Interesting. They didn't save. I don't know how to get that to... Oh, I have to press the thing there. There we go. Okay, that's 20%. And then we'll add another one in here. And this one we'll call 40%. Trust me, I'm going somewhere with this, so stick with me, okay? It's 40%, and this one is going to be another 40%. Okay. All right, it should not be a dollar sign. It should be 40. All right. If you made it through that and you didn't leave and start scrolling Reels, TikToks, or YouTube Shorts, good on you. You've passed the attention span test, which means you're already on your way to making more money. Good on you. I might have failed that myself, and I might have left and gone and started scrolling Reels, depending on the phase of life that I'm in. Now I would have stayed on it because I'm in a very locked-in phase of my life. But let's continue. Let me stop trolling. So this stands for 100%. What happens is this graph here, these little bars, this little graph I made represents buyers, okay? So on a call, and these are loose numbers, not exact numbers, but on a call, what's going to happen is you're going to get 40% of people. This is a bit of a high number, but 40% of people who just like will not buy, okay? And I could even bump it. We'll leave it at 40 just for the example. 40% of people here will not buy. Okay, they're not going to buy no matter what, either because they never will get the money to, or they just do not have the willingness or wantingness to make change, and there's nothing you could do no matter how good you are to get them there. Okay, that's 40% of people. What does that mean? What does that mean now? It means that this other percentage of people here, which would be by definition, if you understand math, which I understand decently, 60% of people will buy. Right? And what does that mean then? As a closer, it is your responsibility to close these people. 60% of people. So what is the 20% of people here? The 20% of people is what I call easy buyers. Easy buyers means these people will close on a one call. Maybe some of them need to transfer some money. There's not tons of fear. You can get them on a one or two call close with very little effort. That's what that means. 20% of buyers. Oftentimes this is going to be 10%, by the way, but I'm just giving you high level numbers here. 20% of people here are going to be easy buyers. But then what happens is we have this other 40% of people that are what I call challenging or mid-tier buyers. Mid-tier buyers means people who are not just going to roll over and say yes to you because you had a nice conversation with them. So what happens is, remember this little graph that I made up here where I told you about how the sales space works, right? Most sales pros right now, and I know you're probably thinking that, no, this is not me. I'm actually really charismatic and I know how to have a good conversation and I can be a leader. And I've done remotes, I've done car sales, I've done door-to-door sales. I talked to a lot of you who are in this space. I've done door-to-door sales and all this. I'm telling you, closing people on Zoom within 45 minutes is not the same as any other fucking sales space. It's not. It's different. I'm not even saying it's harder or easier, because I think that if you took me and had me fucking selling cars in a car lot, I'd probably struggle, because I can't do that shit. Andy Elliott can do that, not me. But you guys are watching me for remote sales, going on Zoom on a freaking laptop and making money, which is not easy. It is not easy to do that, right? So what happens is 10%, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. You guys and a lot of people in the remote sales space are stuck here, which means you're able to close only these people. You can only close easy buyers, which is why a lot of companies, I'll tell you what's really funny, a lot of companies set their KPI at 20%. They set their buying KPI at 20, 25%. A lot of companies, unless they're a sales coaching company, a good sales coaching company, they'll set their KPI at 20% for their closers. Maybe they'll do 30% and they'll say 20% one call, 10% follow-ups. Why? Because they realize that most sales pros suck ass and can't actually close 40% plus. Or people can. Sati closes 45%. Our sales reps, the people that like are on my offer, Joe closes our offer, I think, at 60%. So 60% of you who book a call with us will buy, just so you know. And then we got other people who are closing like 40+%, right? Jabari's at 42%. Valeria's in like low 30, high 30s. Henry, who just got in the game, literally just got in the game, first offer, he's ripped 33%, right? Our people are closing because that's the standards we set. So 20% are easy buyers. In here, the challenging and mid-tier buyers is where your skill set shows. You're not going to close all these people on a one call. That's not going to happen. So your close percentage is most likely not going to be 60% of people. But you can get to 40%. And then there's another 20% within this range. I'll pull back up the little marker. Within this range, there's another 20% of people who could close on like a follow-up. You get them maybe 3 months later. You guys do a promotion. They end up buying. I need a drink of this. So going back to the industry, why do most closers stay in this percentage here and get stuck in the 20% hellhole, if that? So a lot of them can't even do that, to be honest. They usually stay like here in 10%. Not everyone, but some of them do. But why do people stay down here? The reason is this: there's no leadership structure. So you could have all the buying psychology in the world, but if you do not know how to fucking lead, you are not going to close well and you're going to stay broke and you're going to get fired and you won't make it in the space. That's why it helps to be trained in how to lead. Wink, wink. So tonality, pacing, energy. Those are the three structures we have with leadership. Weighted tonality is number one. When you talk to your prospects, when you talk to people on sales calls, they have to feel that this is a serious conversation where we are going to accomplish some shit, and I have to take this seriously. It doesn't mean you need some weird stuff, like you need some weird weird sales psychology. It doesn't mean any of that, like weird stuff. But it just means that they need to respect you. Not respect you as some, I'm not saying some alpha male leader, not being weird here, okay? I'm being serious, like not some Andy Elliott screaming or Grant Cardone. I'm talking about they need to just feel, hey, we're here to get some shit done. This person's a serious person I need to take seriously, and I need to respect their process, okay? This is what we call, one of the ways you can create this leadership structure is what you call weighted tonality. Weighted tonality means that when you ask questions or you make a statement, your tonality contributes weight and energy to what you are saying and what you are speaking, what you are delivering. And this is very interesting. It's very important. This is a non-negotiable. Trust me, it's very important and will make you a lot of money. Weighted tonality means, again, when you ask questions, when you deliver information, your tonality backs the seriousness of the call. So as an example, let's say you were to ask someone on a call, which is a question we have in our scripting, tell me about what the future looks like. Like when we put you in this position where you have, let's go back to the ecomm offer, where you have, you're making 15, 20K, which absolutely is possible. What does it do for you personally? The way you ask that question cannot sound like this. Here's the bad way. Here's the shit tonality. So when we put you in this position where you've made 20K, 15K, and you're in this position where there's more freedom in your life, what does that do for you? Tell me about that personally. I don't love that tonality. The tonality there is weak. The reason the tonality is weak is because there isn't weight behind it. It's not heavy. It doesn't feel like I have to take this seriously. So what a prospect is going to do, hear me out, they're not going to take the question seriously. They're going to mirror your energy. A prospect's answers will be as honest as the integrity and the seriousness of the question that you ask them. Okay, remember that. The prospect's answers are going to be as honest and serious and as thoughtful and as real as the integrity and the seriousness of the questions you ask them. And what creates the seriousness? It's not the script, it's the weight of the tonality. That's why I call it weighted tonality. So imagine your tonality is like a piece of paper. You want to stick a fucking anvil in that bad boy and have that shit heavy. You want heavy tonality, right? What does weighted tonality look like live? What it would look like, here's how that would sound. Here's how I ask that question. So John, something that ultimately becomes important is when our team, when like our people, when we put you in that position where you're making 15, 20K a month with ecom, which we can do for you when we want to, what does that really do for you? And I mean, beyond just hitting the numbers themselves, because they're just numbers, what does it actually do for you personally, like in your life? What do you do with all of that? Tell me about you and what you want, what your vision is. And I'm very curious about this. Weighted tonality, right? Why do I like that tonality? It's because the prospect is more likely to take my question seriously and then mirror it with a very serious weighted answer, which makes my job easier as a sales pro. In addition to weighted tonality, part of the leadership structures is conversational value. Conversational value means that as you deliver information, as you speak, the conversation needs to feel serious. So I'll give you an example. Let's pretend a prospect says, I really, really want to be at those 20K months. Like my goal is 20K. When you say to them, oh, okay, yeah, really good stuff. I'm not a fan of doing that because the conversational value is lower. Saying, oh, okay, gotcha, 20K months. Like a lot of sales pros, sales reps will repeat what the person says. And our people who we train are like, stop repeating what they're saying. Stop repeating what the prospect says. Because everyone thinks if I repeat what they say, they will in some way like believe I'm listening more. I think this is really old school like sales psychology or like communication psychology that just doesn't work nowadays because everyone knows that's the trick, right? So instead what I'll do when it comes to conversational value is I'll contribute a lot of weight in the conversation. Weight meaning, let's say they say I want to get to 20K. My response, dude, that's going to be huge. Yeah, and it's definitely possible. We have people who are doing that. There's people in the industry doing that. That's great. Tell me about what you're doing to get there. Like what's the game been looking like for you? What are some strategies you put in place to make it happen? Conversational value. My answers are serious. My responses are serious. My responses are realistic. They're not just half-assed responses where I'm skirting through my scripting trying to get to the next question, which again, you probably think you don't do it, but statistically, it's very probable that you are doing this. Again, why is it probable? Because I've coached a lot of you and a lot of sales reps now at this point. I'm going to coach many more. So if you see me by end of next year or end of this year, the number's going to double. But yeah, this is, or triple probably. But this is what I see. Conversational value. Presence, groundedness, and attentiveness. The words speak for themselves. There has to be a significant aspect of presence and groundedness on your calls for you to close them at a high level. Again, for you to get from this area trapped at the 20%, for you to tap into that extra 40%, even if you have to do some 2-call closes, you got to do follow-ups. And that's still money you're collecting. I'm not telling you got to do them all in one call. I think your 1-call close percentage can be very high, but you're going to close a bunch of people in a bunch of different ways, right? Those mid-tier leads, those mid-tier, what do we call them? Those mid-tier people, prospects, the buyers, like you're going to have some work to do there. But you close them more when you have the right leadership structures, presence, groundedness, attentiveness. Are you locked in on your calls? A lot of sales reps I work with are having these nice conversations that feel okay, but they're not grounded, they're not present. One of the most challenging things for me as a sales rep was to stay present with my calls and to not be locked into like the script hell, right? That was a big thing for me because a lot of times when I was learning this shit, I was so focused on the script. It was like script, that I actually lost a lot of presence. I lost a lot of attentiveness. I lost a lot of groundedness, and this affected my ability to sell. It affected my ability to close. I don't want that for you. I want you to make a bunch of money. I want you to operate at the highest level possible. Okay, so presence, groundedness, and attentiveness is really huge. Ground yourself and stay away from the script. The last piece, and this is what's going to change the rest of the game for you, and this is the thing that one of the things, because I'm good at all three of these. I was going to say this is what I'm best at, but it's not true because I'm literally equally good at all three of these. Shit, I'm really good. Sometimes I think I'm the best person at this specifically, but I'm really, really elite at this and this. Just talking to myself, I just realized that. I need to give myself more credit. And I'm saying this because of what our people on our training program say. This is not me saying, ask them. Go talk to Michael Kwok. Go talk to Henry. Ask them. Talk to Rowan. See what they say. Objection handling. This is the third one, right? This is the key. And I didn't start with this because everyone overrates objection handling. A lot of people are like, the only thing I need is objection handling. The only thing I need is objection handling. Like I need to be able to handle objections. And if I can just do this, everything's going to change for me in sales. But hey, I want you to think outside the box. Okay? I want you to think outside the box and start thinking beyond just the one-dimensional closer. However, we are going to look at this because objection handling is important. It's one of the things that will change your game. It's the third pillar, but it's not everything. But it is the third pillar, yes. And this was how I started my journey of getting really, really good. And learning objection handling opened up my psychology and my understanding of the whole sales process. And then I tied in all the shit I had learned as a dating coach and brought that to my sales game, allowed me to make a whole bunch of money. Yay, we go back here and have a whole bunch of freedom and drive a very cool Mercedes from 2025 all around Budapest and rent cool cars and rent like a sick penthouse, which unfortunately I'm moving into like in 2 weeks and haven't moved into it as of me shooting this video. But my later videos, you will see me in that apartment and I'm going to use that shit in my videos. That's for sure. And it's not cheap. Okay. Objection handling, finding flawed logic. The way that we teach objections to our people is very different than anything you're going to hear in the market, and I can't really fully explain it to you right now. I'm going to explain to you the basics. I'll give you some sauce here, but I can't give you everything because it's just too much. It would be another hour-long video, and we have whole trainings on that on the channel. So if you type in Tim Ray objection handling, you'll see all my objection handling stuff. I give it away, okay? But objection handling, finding the lines of logic. All of our objection handling is based on understanding prospect logic. It's not based on lines. So there's other programs that are in the remote sales space that teach objection handling as their primary thing. Like there's even certain programs where the name is literally objections. That's the name of the programs. And one thing, and I was in one of these programs. And what's interesting about those programs and just the teaching models we see in the sales space is although they're okay, they're good. They're good. They're a nice start. And there's a lot of people in these programs making money. 100% that's the case. The problem is that the model of how they teach it to you doesn't help you succeed because it's based on learn these frameworks and lines of what to do here, what to do when. Some of that's good. To be clear, that's good. But the root of how it is taught is not the fastest path for you to get good. So when I was in these programs, as an example, yes, I'm going to talk a little bit of shit. When I was in these programs, what I would find is I would be in the program, I'd be role-playing these objections, I would listen to the coaches, do their cool show-off where they would run the objections and everyone would go, oh my God, that was amazing, he's so good, right? And then there would be no explanation. They would be like, this is what you say when, right? And I know a lot of guys in these programs, and some of them started reaching out to me actually for training when I was in the program because they weren't getting results. Like, they would learn, they were doing okay, but they weren't changing their lives quickly at the speed at which our people change their lives and make money, which we have a very fast entry to results timeline. It's very quick, very fast our timeline, faster than like everyone else in the remote sales space, unless someone else gets, lucky or they just have exceptional talent. And we don't rely on luck though. So what happens is a lot of the training is based on scripts, right? So it's based on here's the word track. Remember the word track. Remember the framework. Remember the what to do when. And that's not bad. But the real secret to getting good at objection handling, and this is what changed my life, like this is what changed my life, and I had to do this on my own and stumble there on my own after seeing a lot of the other classmates, students I was with in this program fail, is understanding the logical line. What's the line of logic that the prospect is using to avoid making change? Don't just understand the framework. Don't just understand the script. Don't even just understand the protocol. This is the protocol, but don't just understand like the lines. Understand the logic behind why this person is avoiding change. And if you can understand the logic, you're going to make a whole bunch of money because you're going to be able to handle objections every time better than everyone else in the space. Okay? So a lot of people don't understand logic. I'll give you a good example of this. Let's go back to the ecomm offer. Let's say John. John wants to make money for himself, for his family. You've ran through everything with him. You're like, okay, John, here's the investment. It's going to be $6K. And our goal is to ramp you up to hitting 15, 20K per month as quickly as possible within the next 6 months. That's the timeline of our program. Your success window should be within the first 3-4 months. You should see double the revenue. And you should see an increase of maybe 2,000 to 3,000 within the next month, just immediately your first win. We're ready to get you started. How do you feel? There we go. Okay, you pitched. Here we go. And now John's going to say, this sounds really good. This is amazing. I really love it. Wow, I really want to do this. The big thing for me is finances are a bit tight for us right now, so I'm going to need to give it some thought, and I'm going to need to sit with it, and see really if this is something I need to pull the trigger on now versus maybe save a little bit and then come back and roll with you guys come April, May when we have a bit more savings. Okay, so what a lot of sales reps will do who've been in objections training and are not thinking outside the box, a lot of them what they'll do, and just a bunch of training overall, what they'll do is they'll like, okay, what's the script? I know the script. We all know the script. First thing you do is, do you feel like we can help you? There we go. We call that buy-in. Do you feel like we can even help after you go through that? And why do you feel like we can help? Okay, cool, great. Now what do you do next? What's the scripting? The first thing a lot of people do is, what's the analogy that I can use to handle the objection? No, incorrect. First thing we need to do is clarify. We need to clarify because what we need to do is find the flawed logic, because you can't handle an objection. That was a fucking ugly arrow. Let's do that again. You can't handle the logic until you know what the objection actually is. And our whole objection handling model is based on knowing the prospect's logic of where they're coming from to avoid change. So I'll walk you through this live. What I would do is I'm going to separate finances from the real objection, because I don't want the finances to be the primary thing that holds them back. So if I figure out that the guy can actually do this, even if we did a payment structure, great, we're going to put that in the corner, and then we're going to rely on the rest of our conversation will just be on figuring out the logic behind his real objection. So here's how that would sound. Do you feel like we can help? He says yes. Why do you feel like we can? He gives a really good reason. I think it's because you guys offer the best support. I've seen the case studies. Cool, John. And just to be clear, why can it work for you? We double down again. All right, he gives a good reason. X, Y, Z. This is why I feel it can help. Next steps. So in terms of the investment, because I don't want the investment to be the thing that keeps you from doing this, John. Is it a case that you have the 6K now, but it's a little tough to invest that all here and it's just a little, maybe even scary to do that? Or do you have some of it and we may need to look at breaking things up? What's the situation for you? Cool. Let's say he needs a payment plan. He's like, well, I would need to break it up a little bit. And I could break it up into different pieces, but I still just want to really take some time and think before doing a payment plan because I need to see if this is a good time for us. Cool. We have scripting and protocols or I should say analogies for time. But I don't want to do that yet. I don't want to go into timing yet. The reason I don't want to go into timing is because if I jump to that, I don't know the exact logic he's using to bring up the time objection, right? So a lot of sales reps, what they'll do is they'll go, boom, let's jump on this and handle it right now with a cool analogy that I learned, but they're not thinking outside the box. You have to think outside the box and think differently. You can't think in terms of just script, analogy, word track, right? You can't do that. You have to think past that. So what I'll do is second level. I'll separate money now. John, like no stress. In terms of the income, in terms of the money, we can figure that out. We can figure the investment out if we even get to that point. But I don't want to talk about that right now. Tell me what's going on in terms of timing. You mentioned the time might not be right. Why would it not be a right time for you? Just again, just asking to see if I can help at all. Second level. So now we dig deeper. Let's say he responds. Again, I'm making this shit top of my head. Okay, this is realistic. What you're going to hear on calls. If you're in sales calls, you know what I'm talking about. You've heard this. Well, just right now we have a lot of motion. I just moved my daughter to a new school and work because I'm in construction still, so work has started to kind of pick up a bit. So I want this period to just be a little bit over before I move into like and fully get my head wrapped around what you guys do and really be prepared to scale the ecomm brand and fully lock into it before I fully commit and invest in something like this. There we go. Now I understand a little more of the logic. His logic, where he's coming from, is right now, if I were to invest in this program, because I'm working so much, probably not that much, it's just fear. Because I'm working so much, I wouldn't be able to use the program as much as I'd like. And I'm going to use my daughter and her school thing as an excuse to not make an investment now. So now I understand the kind of conversation we need to have. I'm still not going to destroy the objection immediately. I'm going to clarify a little bit more, just a bit, get him right in a pocket where he has nowhere to go, and then do this, solve the logic. And I'll show you how that would sound. So next level would be, in terms of your daughter's schooling, I'm just curious. You guys moved to a new school. Amazing. How old is she, by the way? He'll say 6. Cool. Oh, she's 6. Good. In terms of that, do you still have the ecom business going on at all, or you completely shut all things down with ecom? You're not even trying anymore because she's in a new school. He's going to say, of course, no, we are still trying. Like I am still running the store. I've not gone as extreme, but I'm still running the store. Okay, gotcha. And then, so there we go. Daughter, school, that's finished. He can't use that anymore because he's still running the ecom brand. In terms of work as well, because that's important. How many hours per week are you working now with the work picking up? Are you there like 12 to 15 hours a day, 0 days off? He's not going to be able to say yes to that. I know he won't because he's going to have a day off, probably 2 days off to be honest. But he's going to say work is picking up. He's been picking up. Some days I'll go in on a Saturday and I'm just really exhausted and tired, etc., etc. There we go. Okay, so he's doubling down on his logic now. I can't do this because I'm tired with work. I'm really busy. I'm really stressed. Right? I'm really stressed. My logic now. Here's where we go flawed logic. My logic that's going to beat his logic is, and you have to make these calculations really fast on a live sales call. My logic is, the reason you should do this right now is 1, you have enough time. So it's not going to take you all the time in the world, that's for sure. 2, you don't need to be locked in to make this happen because our job is to be locked in. Your job is to just show up. So if you can give yourself 5 to 10 hours a week, which is all it takes to use our program, be ethical about that. Don't bullshit and lie. But most programs, you should be able to see results at least at the beginning with 10 hours. They can do more if they want, but 10 hours should be enough. Show up to a couple sessions, write a bit of copy, do a bit of whatever bullshit you have to do for the business. 10 hours should be enough, right? So now I got him on the time. He has the time to do it. Then in terms of the willingness for his family and them to have a better future, do they deserve that better future now, or do they only deserve that better future when things aren't busy? Because that doesn't make sense. Like time is ticking, and you get one life, and each month in your daughter's life is very important. Each month in your wife's life is also very important. This is not my scripting per se. I'm telling you what's in my head in terms of the logic, and this is how I train our people. Why we're so good at objections, better than everyone else, and why I've trained us to think outside the box so well. Right? So, finding flawed logic. Then we solve the logic. So here's how that would sound again. I'll walk you through this, the way it would sound. So then I guess in terms of the construction job, you're not working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, right? So do you have 5-10 hours to still work on the ecom business? He's going to say yes. Well, yeah, I do, but some days it's not easy. No, I totally get it's not easy. And to be honest, the best things in life aren't easy. Like I think Elon building Tesla wasn't easy, right? Or like John, let's say he's the influencer, Chris, the influencer who runs the ecom brand. Chris building the whole brand, that wasn't easy either, but he did it. He was working actually 9 to 5 when he did. So the best things in life aren't easy, man. But in terms of just basic time, I want to make sure there's alignment there. You still are working on the business at a basic level. You're just kind of doing things very inefficiently from what I believe we talked about, correct? He'll say yes. He'll concede that point. Maybe he'll give a little but I'm going to smack him back and say, no, but you are still working on the business. Cool. There we go. Now I'm going to use the analogy, or now I'll use the framework to actually handle the logic. Here's the thing, brother, and I just want to share a perspective. Like, your life is going to be busy. I think you're in a busy season now, 100%, but I suspect that you're going to have changes later on in your life too, would you not? Like, I assume when she goes to high school or middle school, whatever that would be, there's going to be more changes, right? You and your partner, you married or you got a girl? He answers, I'm married. Okay, cool. You and your wife, like you guys have another kid, let's say. You guys have one more kids? Most people say yes, maybe one day. Cool. Yeah, you guys have more kids. You're going to be busy then taking care of and like onboarding a new kid into your life. You know what I mean? So I would dare say that like you, by definition, because of the responsibility you've taken on for yourself and your family, you are going to be a busy man. And this right here, this state you're in, again, man, with all due respect, this is just a reflection of the busyness you're going to have for the rest of your life. I don't think this time is, and tell me again if I'm wrong, but I don't feel like this time is incredibly exceptional. This is just a busy phase for you where you're going through some changes. Correct? We'll get him to see the yes there. Now he says the yes, so now his logic is getting cooked because now you know what I'm going to do now. We have him set up. So then in that case, what I would say, and just again to provide perspective here, I hope it's okay, I'm being real with you, is that man who brings home 10, 15K a month for his family, which is not an easy feat, right? It's not extremely time consuming, but you have to do it the right way with the right support, the right guidance. I know you understand that, which is why we're here, correct? He says, yes, I'm going to keep getting the yeses through. Good. That version of you is always going to be busy. Like the guy who's making 15K a month, he's going to be busy, right? With similar things as you're busy with now, it's just going to be a different frequency you're operating with. So the key would be asking yourself is, does a busy man in your shoes deserve to put himself and his family in the best position even while busy? Or is it like the busyness is too much compared to what I want in my future? Because that's super important because it can always be later and later, less busy, less busy, less busy. But that I feel wouldn't be serving you, to be honest, in who you want to be in the life you want to give them. Tell me if I'm wrong, brother. I'm just having a dialogue with you. Now push him, his logic's going to be cooked. There's no way he can fight that. He could fight it, but my logic is going to win over that. He doesn't have an angle, right? So this is how we teach our objections. And this is how you're going to make a lot of money in remote sales. Objection handling, lines of logic. Solving logic by creating emotional commitment. And then I work them. I actually kind of didn't pause and explain this to you, but I work my prospects through a decision pathway. That's what I just did there. A decision pathway is what it's called. Who do you want to be? Yes or no? Is that guy this person? Yes or no? Does that make sense to you? Yes or no? Is this not true? Yes or no? Would that not be the case? Yes or no? Right? I'm constantly working them through a decision pathway. We need these levers working to be able to complete the equation. The one that I went over with you earlier, and I'm fucking exhausted, by the way, because this has been an hour of training. Jesus. Okay. Just straight talking. In order for your prospects to in order for you to make money with your life and change your life, you have to follow the success protocol. Okay. And the success protocol comes down to this: skill set, opportunity, which is what I just went through with you here. This is the framework. This is the model. This is what it takes. That's it. Okay. Like I'm giving the solution. I'm giving it to you here. This is what it takes. Now, do you want us to work you through that or not? Because that's the next steps. I'll give you what next steps look like. We can work you through it. Yes, I'm going to do a call to action. I'm not selling you anything, but I am doing a call to action. Because the few of you who have stayed here, I don't know how many of you there are, but if it's like 10 of you, some of you will be action takers and I will make you money. I can guarantee you that I will make you money. Okay, but it's depending on if you're willing to invest in yourself. So the next step, we don't have a sales call. We have a strategy call. That is linked below this video. Our process, our full funnel, I'm going to give you the full thing here, is strategy call. You book that with our top guy. Frank is my guy, unless at this point we have someone else, but I think Frank is still rolling with us as of today. Unless you've seen this a year later and Frank has moved on to do other things, but for now, Frank is our SDR and he's going to roll with us. He rolls with us and he does our strategy calls. There's no pitch. It's a triage call. It's like a discovery call. We're going to figure out a couple things. If you're a good fit to work with us, good fit meaning in terms of like competency, literally, if you're someone that we can help. And then if you're in a position where we can help you, right? If you're in a position in sales where we can actually help you. And then financially, if you're qualified to like be in the program, we're not going to sell you anything. We're just going to ask you a bunch of screening questions and just have a chat and point you in the right direction and give you strategy for where you can be in terms of sales. That's what this call is. There's no secrets. I'm too good at sales to actually need to trick you. I'm that good at sales and our sales process is that good and our sales guys are that good. We don't have to fucking trick you. I can be very open about this. So there's no trick. There's no sales call. You're going to book a strategy call. The link to that is below the YouTube video. And like I already said, you'll talk to one of our top guys and he's going to basically figure out what you need to double or triple your comms and change your life. And if you feel like there's value there, if you like what we do, then what the next step is going to be a demo call. So we'll invite you to book a demo call, which is a proper sales call. That'll be with one of my guys, my guy Joe, as of the time of me shooting this. And he's going to break down how the training works. We'll invite you to join protocols. And we only do this call with you if you feel like it's a good fit. That's it, right? And you don't have to worry again about jumping to this sales call and getting your objections handled. You'll be able to make that decision with Frank on the strategy call. So book a strategy call, see if you like what we do. Frank will tell you the general idea. He's not going to pitch you, okay? But he'll give you kind of, hey, here's how it works. Do you want to have us train you and help you? And if you feel like it's a good fit, and we feel like it's a good fit to have a conversation, then I give you the invite to book a demo call, which is a sales call. We are going to handle your objections if you have fear, because some of you probably will, because you self-sabotage yourself. But it's fine. This program will help you also beat your own objections too. And if you're qualified, then you'll join Protocols. Protocols is the name of our training program, which is where all these people that I broke down for you here, they've been in Protocols. Nero was a Protocols, high-level Protocols client. This is what we do, right? So you'll be working with me directly. 4 months of the most intense sales training of your life. That's a fact. And you'll master the skill set protocol that I went over with you here, skill set times opportunity. And then we're going to give you those, again, skill set times opportunity, because it is ops. We get our people on offers. We placed 6 people on offers within the last 2 weeks. So we give you access to the best opportunities and an elite network of people that we have. That's the game that we play. That's what we do. Jesus. Okay, this was an hour and change. That's it. If you have questions about this, ask them in the comments below. But either way, this was, I think, some of the best value I've ever provided on YouTube. And I'm proud of myself for sticking in here and teaching you guys. Fuck, this is a good one. Shit. All right. Book a strategy call. We'll be more than happy to talk to you there. We'll see you there. Goodbye. Peace.